Hello, and welcome to another edition of Long Beach Treasures. I'm your host, Harvey Keller. Today we're stopping by George's 50s Diner, which is located here at Atlantic in San Antonio. So if you'll come with me, we'll go in and we'll revisit the 1950s. And joining me now is the owner here, George Alvarez. Welcome, George. Thank you for letting us stop by.
Oh, not a problem, a pleasure.
Give me a history of the diner.
Okay, this diner was built up in 1952. The original name was Grissinger's. That was the year it was opened up, and it was a car hop and drive-in. Until the late 60s.
Let me move over here and get out of the way,
Okay.
and so that your customers
will be wondering off. Huh? So that's basically it was that way, car hop and drive-in to the late 60s. Then eventually came just a ordinary coffee shop until the late 90s when I took over the business. Then it became George's 50s Diner.
And I believe the architect was what, Wayne McAllister?
Wayne McAllister.
He was noted for his 50 diners, and also he did the Sands Hotel in Las Vegas.
From what I know, he was a very popular engineer. He built a lot of diners, in fact. And this is one of them. Probably one of the ones he built is left, the only one that I know so far. And I guess very special buildings, very unique diners.
I understand the architectural style of this building is the Googie style.
You could say that.
And
yeah.
As far as my interpretation of Googie style would be where the diner itself is one large advertisement with futuristic designs built into the building itself and surrounded by a large parking lot where people could park their cars and car hops could service them.
Exactly. And for that matter, you even have the restrooms right outside, a separate way from the restaurant, from the diner, because for that purpose, for a drive-in and car hop, and that's why even the restaurant was built up on the outside.
Are there any drive-ins left?
Now that I know, not around here. I think you're gonna have to travel kind of far, a couple hours to find the diners.
Would you ever consider putting this back into a...
Well, that's what I have in mind. In fact, that's my goal, to have this place once again is a drive-in and car hop.
Now, I noticed a sign out there that said cruise nights on a Thursday. What's a cruise night?
Cruise night is a car show that we do on Thursday nights. It will be is an old cars, classic cars that everybody brings their cars on that day, that particular evening. Some of them they're from a car club. Some of them, they're just the private parties, but it's fun. We display some music and outside, 50s music, of course.
How many cars do you usually have?
We normally have from 30 to 40 cars.
Really? That's
Yeah.
every Thursday night?
Every Thursday night. We haven't started this year, but we've been doing it for the past 7 years.
I was talking to someone the other day who went to school here in Long Beach in the 60s, and they said Friday night was cruise night, and they would come down Atlantic, hang a right on San Antonio, go down one block, take a right, and come up the alley so they could check to see who was in the parking lot, whether or not they wanted to stop. And if they did stop, they would order French fries with gravy.
Right, it was very popular in the old days.
Do you still serve it?
We still serve those
With gravy?
with gravy, with that beef rum gravy. We have all that, basically that authentic meals that they used to serve, the good hamburgers, the milkshakes, root beef floats, all that type of items they used to serve nowadays.
I asked her if she said they had French fries with gravy. I said, what about hamburgers? She said, oh, we didn't have enough money for a hamburger in those days.
Yeah, I guess even though the hamburgers were only 35 cents, you know, with fries and all that, I know they were quite a bit right then. Unfortunately, right now they're not as cheap as that, but we still keep that really fresh, good hamburgers.
What's your menu here like?
We
Typical
serve
50s?
Typical 50s with a little bit of mix that the new items they serve nowadays, but all the 50s meals they have nowadays, we got it in the menu.
I love your jukebox. I like all of the records on there. Fats Domino, Nancy Sinatra with These Boots Are Made for Walking, even
Right.
some Perry Como, nostalgic music.
Well, it's pretty much what diners you have, and that's what we're trying to, please people, especially request customers, because I have about 20% of my clientele is in all customers that used to come in when they were teenagers.
Really?
Right. So it's really fun. It's great to be able to have some of our customers that used to come in when they were teenagers, and I mean, it's wonderful, and they're
Some
still
of
around
them-
in that area, Long Beach.
Some of them even remembers when it was Grissinger's?
Right. Some of them, they even I got a photo of one of the waiters then. Some of my customers would know her.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What are your hours here? You're open 7 days a week?
We open 7 days a week, Monday to Friday. We open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday and Sunday we open at 7 a.m. and we close at 3 p.m. Right. And
Did when this was a drive-in, did the girls go on roller skates?
I believe right then there was not much of a roller skate. It was mainly walking, as you can see, and they had a special trays, you know, put it in the window of the cars. But they have a nice uniform. It was really unique. For the outside, the car hop, they had a special uniform. And for the inside, it was a different uniform. But it was basically walking, you know, with a tray in their hands. But it was pretty neat.
I remember when I was in high school, there was a drive-in, and that was where we always hang out.
Well, I guess, you know, from what I know, I'm from yesterday. I wish I would have been there because they tell me so many nice stories from the 50s. All my friends that I have in here, that was just a lot of fun. It was great. I mean, I think it was 5, 6 diners close by, and that's what they used to do.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, the Cultural Heritage Commission, the City of Long Beach, has just given you a historical designation?
We just about to get the declaration of that historical landmark. They pick up the place about 6, 7 years ago as historical landmark, and we're just about to get, because you got to get some kind of diploma.
Right.
And we're just about to get that.
I think the last thing that needs to be done is approval from the City Council.
Right, exactly. That's what has to be done. And I think we're close to get there, so we really hope
I think it
for
would be
that.
great if you would go back to a drive-in. I think it would be neat to see the old car hops again and all the old nostalgia.
Well, I think it will be. I have a lot of people really excited about it, and I'm hoping that one day I'll be able to do it. I know it gets a little expensive to do it back again, but eventually that's my dream.
George, I want to thank you for letting me stop by. So if anybody
my
wants to have a great meal and some great
Well,
music, just come on down
Here's the
and
place, Georgia Fick Designer. It's just-
reminisce about the 50s and 60s.
Hey, if you like that, appreciate the 50s, the diners, here you got one. Good meals, good service, great people. We got a great staff, and our meals are just everything fresh, and you can find everything from the 50s.
Good.
From
Thanks,
ham-
George.
Thanks
I
a lot.
appreciate it.
It was a pleasure.
And don't go away. We'll be right back with more Long Beach Treasures.
Hello, I'm Randy Gordon. I'm the president and CEO of the Long Beach Area Chamber of Commerce, and I'm the proud host of a brand new show called Strictly Business. And as the name implies, it's all about business. In the coming weeks, I'll be interviewing small business entrepreneurs to CEOs of very large companies about business issues that are critical here in Long Beach. And that means it's important to you too. Join us on Charter Channel 3 for Strictly Business.
We have customers that talk to us all the time about how it helps with help them keep connected with the community in terms of what's going on, and renewed commitment to providing better service. We've sort of taken a hard look at our call center and our field technicians, and we're empowering them to do the right thing so that hopefully we can make all our customers happy with their service, and that's our focus. I think we view it as a very important part of our offering.
Hi, I'm George Jones, host of Channel 3's Sidebar. For over a decade, I've been litigating personal injury lawsuits and business disputes throughout the state of California. I represent both plaintiffs and defendants, and now I'd like to put that litigation experience to work for you. If you're considering a lawsuit, please call me for a free case evaluation. My phone number is 562-435-9501. Thank you.
I love my kids. We do everything together. We've had some great times. It's painful to think that these memories could be lost. That's why I save all my home movies to Panasonic DVD. That way I know they're safe for up to 75 years. So if you'd like to save your precious memories, bring them in to Avid Electronics.
Hi, and welcome back to Long Beach Treasures. Now we're here in Bixby Knolls at the Black Box Theater, which is a new Shakespeare theater up here. So if you'll come with me, we'll go in and we'll check it out and see what Shakespeare has to say. And joining me now is Jordan Mercedes, and you're on the board of directors here?
I am. I'm the marketing director for the Black Box Theater.
Now, I know this is a small theater. Give me a run through on the lobby here.
Well, this is what we decided was our first impression to our customers when they come into the theater. We wanted to make it a really warm and inviting place. So in keeping with our support of the arts, we decided to create a gallery in our lobby that features local artists. And on this wall, we have a local artist. This is one of her first exhibits. Her name is Kristen Autry, and she's a violinist by profession, and this was her hobby that's turned into a wonderful new art form for her and for us.
Do I detect some paint work by Doug Orr?
Well, actually, Doug has done a lot for our theater. He didn't do the paint in here. I did that.
Oh.
When I came to the theater, this room was a big leftover from an old oil marine shop, and it had oil all over and it needed paint, and no one was sure what to do, so we just went to the local hardware store, got paint, and started to do some treatment on the walls. However, Doug Orr did help us with the building of our wall and with our tech booth right behind us.
And that quilt is another artist?
Absolutely. The quilt is a lovely gift to the Shakespeare Company from a local artist who wanted to contribute something that we could use as a fundraiser. So she created this by hand for us, donated it, and now it's one of our raffle prizes that will go at our summer festival. It'll be raffled then.
Now, don't be modest, because someone told me in the case here, these are your works of art. So explain them to me.
Well, in this case, I have the lovely opportunity to display my artwork.
The colors are beautiful, by the way.
Thank you. I am a mosaic collage artist. I work on glass and metal, and these are some of my plates, and I usually trade them out depending on what show is going on in the theater. So if we're doing a show, I try to pick a theme and then match the artwork that may match the feeling of the performance. And
those are beautiful.
Thank you.
Can I see a piano here? Do you entertain the theater goers before the production starts?
Many of our productions include music in the play, Our show, 12th Night, actually had a lot of piano work, and we had a lovely young man, or actually an older man, who was one of the original silent movie
Now, careful when you
pianists.
say older.
Older, but wiser, preferably. And he played here in the back of the theater while the performance was going on. It's lovely. So we use this piano for our performances all the time. So it's a part of what we do to get the job done here at the theater.
Let's go check the theater out.
Okay, let's do that.
Oh. Is this one of the artists up here?
This is our lovely artistic director, Helen Borges, and she's meeting you at the balcony.
Hi, Helen.
Hello, Harvey.
Are we going to do Romeo and Juliet here?
We just closed Romeo and Juliet, as
Oh.
a matter of fact. And we had sold out houses for 8 weeks. In fact,
I'm
we
gonna
extended
come up
our
and
run.
join you.
Very good. By all means. Isn't this a nice perspective? I love this balcony. We had a terrific run. It was the most incredible thing. And just before that, we had 12th Night, and it sold out every night. And it's amazing what we can do in this little tiny space.
Now, how many productions do you do and how often?
Well, we run each show usually around 6 weeks. But as I say, Romeo and Juliet was selling out, so we held it over for another 2 weeks. But because the birthday tribute is coming up, Shakespeare's birthday is April 23rd, we had to close Romeo and Juliet so we could prepare for that. Otherwise, we could run it forever. We had schools coming in from all over, and we had the Senator Betty Carnett was here a couple of nights ago. So we've had some really good support. But we run 6 shows a season, and then we do our summer festival, which is a free summer festival in the parks of Long Beach.
Are you still doing the park?
Absolutely. That's our commitment, is free Shakespeare for the masses, so that everybody who wants to see Shakespeare gets a chance to see it. That's why we were founded, this company, in 1990. And it was originally founded as Bard in the Yard, and they were a very small company that did 1 play a year in the parks of Long Beach, because they felt that Shakespeare should be readily available to people.
I saw some of the productions down at Bixby Park.
Yes, yes. And then eventually in 1997, I was invited to join the board, and the board reorganized at that time under the leadership of Bianca Sovich, who now runs a costume shop here in Long Beach and is the head of the Long Beach Chamber of Commerce. I think she's their president. Anyway, she reorganized the board and got us all together, and then asked me to be the artistic director, which is the first time the company had had one. And so at that point, we started working all year round. We were an itinerant company, though, because we didn't have a space. We just did the Renaissance fairs in Southern California, and schools and churches and any place, basically, that would have us. And in October of last year, we got this space. And
Now, how many seats in the theater?
37.
And it looks like in the front row you might be a part of the company at times?
Yes, absolutely. During the sword fights, we always warn everybody that that front row is very interactive, but we haven't lost one yet. And our sword fights are the talk of the town. We've got a really great fight coordinator named Dylan Seal, who just has been knocking people out. That's mentioned in all of our reviews.
So now your next production opens?
April 23rd, the Shakespeare Birthday Party. It's the 440th birthday of William Shakespeare.
Happy birthday, Willie.
Yes, we're going to do it upright. We've got, we're going to do a kind of a music hall sort of thing with skits written by all sorts of people, Tom Stoppard and Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie and Monty Python and people like that, plus some stuff written by William Shakespeare himself, and a little bit from Cole Porter's Kiss Me Kate, and we're just going to do a music hall review sort of thing for his birthday. And then on May 14th, we're going to open The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde. Our commitment is to the classics, Shakespeare in
Oh,
particular.
you're not doing just Shakespeare here?
No, no, we do classics of all sorts, going back to the ancient Greeks and coming up through, well, basically American colonial is as much forward as we go, although we do sometimes stretch, because a classic can be so many things. And we did the Plot to Overthrow Christmas by Norman Corwin last Christmas, and that was written, what, 1938 was when it debuted. So, you know, we're not limited to ancient classics.
Before I forget, give me your address and prices and information for people so they'll know where to come.
Great. We're at 4250 Atlantic, which is just north of Carson and just south of San Antonio off Atlantic. And we are on the web at bardintheyard.com. theater.com. And our phone number is area code 562-997-1494. And our prices are very reasonable, $6 for students, $12 general admission.
And how many nights are you open?
Thursdays, Fridays, Saturday nights at 8, Sunday matinees at 2. And then the festival will open July 10th and run August 15th on Saturdays and Sundays only. And we're still in negotiation over where we're going to be this year. We've been in a lot of the different parks in Long Beach.
Well, the festival will not be here.
No, no, no. It's a
Oh.
big outdoor festival.
Oh,
It draws
okay.
hundreds of people each day, and we'll be doing Midsummer Night's Dream and Julius Caesar. So if people are interested, the thing to do is to look at the website, bardintheyard.com, or call the theater at that phone number I gave a moment ago, because very soon we'll be able to officially announce where we're going to be this year. And we've got very exciting news about that, but since it isn't finalized, I can't say for sure. But
Well, this won't be shown until June, so you might want...
that's true. Oh, good. Oh, well, then in that case, by that time, if this won't be on the air till, absolutely. This year, we hope to be at the Aquarium of the Pacific.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's
in
what-
the main lobby there?
No, we'll be outdoors. We have a big
Oh.
2-level Elizabethan stage that we erect in the parks, and so we'll just find a nice big grassy area there by the aquarium.
Oh, that would be a great venue for
Yeah,
you.
it will be. We're looking forward to it. It's it'll be outdoors, and it will be around twilight. We're going to start, because we're going to start a little bit later since we're going to be down there. We aren't going to be in a neighborhood situation, so we don't have to worry about disturbing residents and that kind of thing. So it's going to be a great location for us, so we can have lighting and all that.
And so when is the next production here in the theater?
May 14th, the importance of being on. Oh, but if this isn't going to run till June, let's see. Then our next show, after the festival closes, our next show will be Dracula in October. We're going to be doing, every year we do a Halloween special.
Ah.
And so this year it will be Dracula. We're writing our own adaptation from the novel. And so we like to stay as close to the original classic as we can. If you look at productions of Dracula, both on film and on stage, they adapt it in odd ways. They change characters' names, they cut characters. There are all different reasons why they do that, but nevertheless, we don't do that. We like to stay as close to the original as possible. So we'll be doing Dracula in October, and then we're doing a 14th century epic, Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, in December for the holidays.
I read a review in the paper about Romeo and Juliet, and it was a glowing review. But they also said that you had a band in here. I'm trying to figure out, will you have enough actors, an audience, a band? Where do you put everybody? Are they hanging from the roof?
This is the thing. It's a marvel. We have this really great space, and we're able to adapt it for stage fights and for dances. We've got a big ball scene in Romeo and Juliet. We put the pipers up there, and they play pre-show. And then sometimes, like for example, during Twelfth Night, we had the pipers coming on and off stage to play in scenes, but they also play in the lobby throughout Romeo and Juliet. They played in the lobby, and the music just came right through without any problem.
We had mentioned earlier about Doug Orr's help that he's given you.
He's great.
Let's give him a plug. The Four Olives is right down the street.
Absolutely. Doug volunteered his time to help us build this place. He volunteers his time to build the set. He designed and built this set and builds all of our sets. And he has a terrific restaurant that's 3 doors down, and we do a dinner theater special. You get a discount on your dinner if you have reservations here.
That's just what I was going to say. Stop at the Four Olives and have some fine dining, and then come and visit Shakespeare.
Absolutely. And then, you know, after the show, you can stop at Doug's on Thursday nights. You have live music now on Thursday nights.
Well, you know, I'm going to have to come over here because I think it sounds really fun. I don't know if I want to sit in the front row, but I just think this would be a great evening's entertainment.
Well, thank you. I hope we'll see you. We are totally devoted to the arts. As you can see in our lobby, we want to support the fine arts, and we want to be entertaining and enlightening and inspiring to our audiences. So please do come.
Helen, thanks. Jordan, thanks. I appreciate you giving us your time and telling us all about your nice little theater.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And don't forget to come back again next month and take another walk through history and uncover more Long Beach treasures.